On 1st and 10. Play action from Allen. Puts the man under it. Far side. It's caught Beasley. Opportunity here before half for the Bills.
4 catches for Gabriel Davis. Josh Allen winds up sideline open. Catch made. Out of bounds inside the 5. Cole Beasley after hauling that in.
That again, to your point of Josh Allen finding himself.
On 3rd and 22. Open is Beasley. He's going to get the first down or be very close.
Offensive lineman at this point. So a lot to handle as a defense.
Allen slinging it towards the end zone. It's caught. Beasley for the touchdown. Every scoring play subject to automatic review. See if the football broke the plane. Certainly looked like it did there, and he is in. And now the concern, Arch, on LaMarcus Joyner, who left the game earlier, looking to see if Beasley maintained possession of the...
Chiefs show they're coming on a blitz. See if they stick with it. Josh Allen has started 1 for 6. And he slings it high and caught by Beasley for the first down.
To get in there and exploit it.
On 1st and goal, pass underneath. There's Beasley. Touchdown.
Came up a little bit hobbled right there when his ankle looked like maybe got tweaked a little bit. But that's a great job by him, just battling. City's okay with them hitting underneath throws.
Allen steps through, throws, has Beasley. Beasley is down inside the 10, 1st and goal.
First down, Buffalo, their own 43. Allen evades the rush, completes it across midfield, 40, 35, and brought down inside the 35 is Cole Beasley. Neville Hewitt making the tackle.
It's going to get caught up, and they don't feel Cole Beasley, who's been so effective.
This man, look here.
The blitz is coming on 3rd and 6, and Allen is on the move. Can he find anybody? The coverage not good enough. Low to the ground. Cole Beasley. And they are ruling that a catch. Saw the sideline indicating no, but he had to go low for that.
Wow. Saw this to beat the Rams on the final.
Stephon Diggs had a hell of a season, and Cole Beasley was also one of those factors as why I believe he's a true X factor of this offense. My mic was not working properly when I first hopped on. Post that little highlight reel that I just showed you guys on the visual side of things. Each week last season that Cole Beasley was lined up as number 11 for the Buffalo Bills, he made his impact. I have yet to discuss Beasley and some of the tweets that he has posted over the last month or so. I'm going to get into that most definitely. But I want to acknowledge the player that is Cole Beasley and what he means to this team, and then go into some of the tweeting and stuff that we have seen over the last month or so, and why this is such an important story for the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo Bills fan base. Want to remind you guys to fire away some comments in the comments section below, whether you're following along on Twitter or Instagram. Follow me at Ryan Thomas Take if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. YouTube and Facebook as well. The Thomas Take Sports Podcast, as we're coming to you live on a Monday afternoon, July 5th, 4th of July. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed it with your family and friends, as we were unable to do so last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, of course. This year, things have been moving forward for the better. And it's nice to say that, we were able to, enjoy the 4th of July holiday as we should each and every year with our family and friends, whether you were at the barbecue with your family, whether you were, enjoying the fireworks, your local fireworks. I hope you, stayed safe, had a great time. And now you can sit back. Hopefully, if you're home watching this right now, that means you get Monday off like me. If you are working right now and you're a part of any of the Buffalo Bills Facebook groups that I'm a part of, please feel free to tune in to watch this video. I really appreciate the support. The Thomas Take Sports Podcast. I have a lot of cool announcements coming up in the next couple weeks. As far as the show, you guys know that I'm always looking to make this show bigger and better each and every year. As we inch closer and closer to training camp, I will be doing just that and then some. So stay tuned for more information on the show and some updates that I'll have in regards to some future guests as well. Some new developments with the show. So stay tuned for that. I'll definitely be keeping you posted when that announcement is official. For now, Cole Beasley is the true X factor of this Buffalo Bills offense. And if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, as diehard a Buffalo Bills fan as I am, you would be a little bit worried when you look at some of the tweets that Beasley has put out. Now, I'm not going to say I'm worried about the tweets based on whether I agree or disagree with Cole Beasley. I'm looking at this from a football perspective, purely a football perspective, as I do on this show. How do I think this opinion of Cole Beasley, this, reasoning by Cole Beasley, how will it affect this Buffalo Bills team? How could it affect this Buffalo Bills team? And I want to go into, the fact that everybody is entitled to their opinion within the COVID-19 vaccine. I personally wanted to get vaccinated as soon as I could. I have friends of mine that don't, and I respect anyone's opinion, whether it's the same as mine or whether it isn't. That's why I have this show. I like to show and share my opinions and then have the audience comment and give their take as far as to what I'm talking about, whether they even agree with me, whether they disagree with me. That's a part of what makes, I think, the world go round. Whether you agree or disagree, as long as you can put an opinion out there and, get people to, interact with you, I think there's something really cool about that. But for the football perspective, the NFL is a juggernaut, right? They are the head honcho league in professional sports. They are as powerful an entity as any in professional sports, more powerful than the NBA, more powerful than Major League Baseball, more powerful than the National Hockey League. You get the point. More powerful than, you can even say, the UFC. You get the point. Roger Goodell, the powers that be, the 32 NFL owners, they could put someone in and just as quickly put someone out of the league based on an opinion that they have virtually on anything. You can go to Colin Kaepernick with that as an example. You can go to Cole Beasley, hopefully not as what I fear to be an example of a player that has stated his opinion. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Cole Beasley's opinion or the fact that he's stating it. He has a platform. He has put plenty of productive seasons into this league and into this game to have the ability to share his opinion, to have a platform to share his opinion, and to have the ability for people to respect his opinion based on how he has conducted himself on and off the field as a member of the Dallas Cowboys, of course, and now currently a member of the Buffalo Bills. The issue with me is the football aspect of it, the X's and O's aspect of it. How will Cole Beasley's decision to not get the vaccine potentially impact his season this year, as well as impact the Buffalo Bills this year? And when I go by the numbers and I look at, let's go inside the numbers, as I like to say, let's go inside the numbers the last two seasons that Cole Beasley has played here. You look at the numbers on Pro Football Reference, which is a huge, gift that keeps on giving to me when I like to look at stats. That's what I go to. Shout out to those guys, profootballreference.com. Cole Beasley's played his age 30 season, his age 31 season here in Buffalo. He has played in 10 games in both seasons out of 15, started 10 out of 15 games, and was targeted over 100 times in both seasons. 106 his first season in Buffalo, 107 his second season in Buffalo. That is a massive target share Furthermore, his first season in Buffalo, he caught 67 out of 106 targets. His second season in Buffalo, he caught 82 out of his 107 targets, to the tune of 967 yards and an average, yards per clip of 11.8 yards per catch, as well as 4 receiving touchdowns. Cole Beasley is the X factor. I look at Cole Beasley as the table setter, the appetizer to the entree that is Stephon Diggs, the dessert that is Stephon Diggs, I guess you could say, or the entree that is Gabe Davis. Cole Beasley is that appetizer. He's the one that gets your appetite somewhat fulfilled prior to waiting for your meal. You know what the meal is. It's the chicken parm. Cole Beasley might be, the meatballs. I don't know. Donnie Meatballs, shout out to him. Donnie Granato, new head coach of the Buffalo Sabres. That's another show for another day. But Cole Beasley has been Josh Allen's security blanket. And a lot of Bills fans have talked to me specifically about, well, Ryan, they need to get a better tight end. Dawson Knox is the guy that they hope is that guy. I think they bring in Jacob Hollister as well to, provide competition for Dawson Knox. I also feel that when we look at the depth of this team, the guy that Josh Allen's looking at first simply is the security blanket. It hasn't been Dawson Knox. It hasn't been any of the other tight ends outside of Knox that the Bills have had, whether it was Tyler Kroft or, Sweeney was out last season. They had a lot of, people coming in and out of the building there at tight end outside of Knox. Now some new weapons there with Hollister and Reggie Gilliam as well last year, showed up and showed out in training camp, made the final roster. I really feel that the security blanket, though, for Allen has been Beasley. He is that veteran guy. He is that presence that you can rely on. A guy that Tony Romo quoted, paraphrasing here, but I believe the exact quote was, Cole Beasley was the most reliable receiver I had in Dallas. And that says a lot. You look at who Romo was throwing the ball to as the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. You had T.O. on that team. You had Hall of Famer T.O., future Hall of Famer Jason Witten, who was probably one of the greatest tight ends of his era, of his generation. And I think Cole Beasley, you can put in that discussion as being one of the better slot receivers in the National Football League over the course of his long career. He's put in a solid, 7-8 seasons in the National Football League. And frankly, when Dallas let him go, I was pretty stunned. 9 years now for Beasley in the NFL, going into his 10th season. This is not just any player voicing their opinion on any topic. This isn't any topic. This is a topic that a lot of players are debating, whether they should or shouldn't be vaccinated. I happen to feel that if you can get vaccinated, you should do it. I mean, I want to avoid, getting the virus as much by any means necessary, but some of these players feel differently, and that's okay. I understand it. These guys dedicate their entire lives to competing at peak performance, putting their bodies into peak physical condition, and they feel that this vaccine might jeopardize that. And frankly, it very well could for a short time, but maybe they have other reasons. I won't speculate as to what the reasons are, but I am fearful that Cole Beasley will not be lining up on the field as a member of the Buffalo Bills due to the fact that the NFL will throw the gavel down on any player that disagrees with them for any reason. They have proven that. They have shown that. And if we are without Cole Beasley, we look at who we have on this offense. I'm just speculating here. I don't know if that's for sure. I'm not going to say that, Beasley is definitely not going to play this year. I'm just fearful that he might not, based on how the NFL does their disciplinary actions, based on how they conduct themselves in a disciplinary way. They're known to literally take players off the field that don't agree with their policy. And it's safe to say, with the tweets that we've seen from Cole Beasley, he does not agree with the policies that the NFL is conducting and that will conduct throughout the 2021 NFL season. Very worried about that because you don't have on this roster a guy that can fill that slot receiver role with the quickness that Cole Beasley has on this team currently. You just don't have it. You have Emmanuel Sanders, who is not the fleet-footed receiver he once was. He's sure-handed. He can play in the slot, but he does not have the quickness and the agility that Beasley has. And outside of Emmanuel Sanders, you have a guy by the name of Tanner Gentry, who the Bills brought in, formerly out of Wyoming, a former Wyoming Cowboy, as is Jacob Hollister, that Josh Allen threw to quite often in his collegiate career. But can that guy be the guy that can fill the role of Cole Beasley? And yeah, I'm just speculating here. We don't know for certain if Beasley will or won't be playing, but I'm fearful. And this is one of the few storylines that I think could drastically impact, possibly the only storyline that could drastically impact the Buffalo Bills in 2021. Whether or not Cole Beasley lines up on the field for the Buffalo Bills, if he decides not to get the vaccine, if he goes against the Players Association like he has in his tweets, I'm fearful that Beasley will not be out there. And I hope that's not the case, because I think that drastically impacts not just the Bills' competition and competitive level for bidding towards a Super Bowl championship, of course, but also winning the AFC East again, winning double-digit games again could be in jeopardy. I think Cole Beasley is that much of a factor and was that much of a factor last year towards the Buffalo Bills accomplishing that goal of winning the AFC East, becoming a 13-3 team, and obviously making a run towards an AFC title game against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bills are this close. The window of opportunity is a short window. We got 2-3 years here to really make the most of it. Is Emmanuel Sanders in the long-term plans the Buffalo Bills? No, he signed a 1-year deal. Is Cole Beasley in the long-term plans of the Buffalo Bills? Probably not. He's on the other side of 30, but these are the last years that Beasley has to really possibly compete for a Super Bowl, and I would hate to see that pass him by based on the way the NFL disciplines their players. Am I the only one feeling this way? I don't think I am. I'm scrolling through Bills Twitter. I see a lot of Bills Mafia members just as frustrated as I am that Cole Beasley could be out this year due to his stance on the COVID-19 vaccine. Player that played during the COVID-19 pandemic, but a player that obviously has no interest whatsoever in getting the COVID-19 vaccine. And at this stage of the game, at this stage of the offseason, are there free agent wide receivers that are experienced enough that you could bring in that could fill that role? Can Emmanuel Sanders fully fill that role? He could fill that role, but not in the same capacity, in my opinion, that Cole Beasley does. That's just my opinion. People can disagree with me on that, but I don't see Emmanuel Sanders as the fleet-footed guy that Cole Beasley is currently. He was that guy, but obviously he's at the later stage of his career. This is probably the last year of his career, and that's okay too. Any player that wants to come on board for a 1-year deal to come to the Buffalo Bills to help us possibly win a Super Bowl championship, I'm okay with it. A lot of Bills fans saying, oh, they got an old receiver. Hey, if that old receiver that's spent time with Big Ben, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, if he believes that he could be a missing piece to this team in winning us a Super Bowl, come on board. I love it. So, and I also look at the fact that, we had Diggs, Beasley in the lineup, John Brown out of, in the lineup and out of the lineup. He had some injury issues, but Beasley stepped up big time in the absence of John Brown last year. That's something that has not been talked about hardly at all by anybody that I want to bring up. Cole Beasley stepped up in a massive way in the absence of John Brown for Josh Allen and for this Bills offense, and helped us get to where we were. And if he's not out there, that's a story that is definitely developing. It's something that I've speculated on in this show that I wonder whether or not he will be out there. I think that's a realistic concern that every Bills Mafia member should have currently. And it would drastically impact this team. It would hurt Allen really bad if Beasley's not out there. It would hurt the Bills offense. It would hurt Diggs. It would hurt everybody. This guy is the security blanket of the Buffalo Bills offense. They don't have that Rob Gronkowski, Jeremy Shockey, Jimmy Graham, Shannon Sharp. They don't have that tight end yet. but they do have a slot receiver that has been one of the best outside of Julian Edelman over the course of the last 9 years in Cole Beasley. And without him, I think the Bills will hurt without him in the lineup. I hope that Cole Beasley is out there. I hope he is healthier this year than he was last year, because I think he could get over 1,000 yards this year. He almost did last year, but he missed some time. Had he played, even a couple more games, I think he would have had over 1,000 yards last year, which means we would have had not one but two wide receivers with over 1,000 yards receiving, Cole Beasley and Stephon Diggs. Hasn't happened in a long time, since Peerless Price and Eric Moulds. So there you have it. That's my take on Cole Beasley and the whole situation and him being the true X factor of the Buffalo Bills offense. I greatly hope that Cole Beasley is out there ready and willing and able to compete, because I really love watching him play. I'm happy that he's a member of the Buffalo Bills. I'm happy that he feels the need to use his platform any which way he wants. I have no problem with it whatsoever. That's coming from someone that is vaccinated. It's his opinion. He's entitled to it. He's entitled to use his opinion however he sees fit. But when you use your opinion, use your platform for your opinion, however you see fit, it opens the door the other way for others to react and respond. Some of the responses I think have been a little harsh, but it is what it is. I can control what I can control. My voice behind this microphone saying that Cole Beasley is the X factor of this team. I greatly hope he is out there this season. I think if he isn't, it just completely changes the makeup of this Buffalo Bills offense that also has not been able to find an identity in the run department. Cole Beasley was that guy that could get you those 4-yard receptions that a running back couldn't run for you. That's another little wrinkle to this whole Cole Beasley situation. There you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in to the latest episode of the Thomas Take Sports Podcast. I'm Ryan Thomas. Last and certainly not least, go Bills. I'll be back soon for a Sabres episode with a special guest. My buddy Phil Munson will be joining me sometime this upcoming week, sometime within the week. So stay tuned for that. We're going to break down Donnie Granado as well. It is UFC 264 Fight Week. Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor, Part 3 takes place July 9th. On ESPN Plus pay-per-view. Of course, I'm bringing the heat. It's Fight Week. I got to bring as much heat as possible for my preview and prediction for Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor Part 3. I'm bringing that to you very soon, so keep your eyes and ears open. Last and certainly not least, thanks for tuning in, and go Bills.